Hello and welcome to this video on Austria. I was looking for the ideal winter getaway. I can say that I was lucky to consider Austria.
Oh, nice. What time are you heading off?
Famous for its stunning scenery, cozy alpine villages, while also offering a wealth of winter activities. This guide highlights the 5 days that I spent in Austria in December of 2024, in which I try to give you ideas on what to do and things to know, from visiting almost every Christmas markets in Austria to visiting the most picturesque village in Europe. Being someone that was raised in the warmth of the tropics, this trip was particularly special for me, as even though I had already been to 13 other countries, I had never experienced snow before this trip. Good morning. Just stepped out of Vienna airport and I can already feel the cold. It's supposedly 3 degrees outside. We touched down in Vienna, the capital city of Austria, at 6 a.m. after a 5 hours plane ride from Abu Dhabi, and immediately went on to take another 5 hours train ride to a city called Innsbruck in Austria. So finally made it into the train. The train is quite a fast train. It's going at over 200 kilometers per hour at times, and the scenery outside is just incredible so far. This is the fastest train you can get from Vienna all the way to Innsbruck. So now I'm just on the way to Innsbruck and enjoying the scenery outside. Already from here, my excitement about visiting Austria skyrocketed. So the idea behind going to Innsbruck first is because we wanted to go to the furthest place on our itinerary and then work our way back towards the capital city Vienna over the course of the 5 days, while trying to explore as much of the must-see places in Austria as possible. After a quick check-in at the hotel with a complimentary glass of wine, it was just time to start exploring the first Christmas market. But before we explore the exciting Christmas markets of Innsbruck, let me tell you about the little cozy hotel that we were staying in for the first night. The hotel is called Hallstatt Hotel, with a very modern, quirky vibe to it. Very pleasant atmosphere and friendly staff. And the best part is that it was located right in the middle of a Christmas market. You literally had just to step out to get into the Christmas market. Well, I just mean to say that it is a good option if you wanna be super close to the Christmas market in the old town. Hotel cost this much, which we deemed affordable for what we were getting. Enough about the hotel. Well, about Innsbruck, it is the capital of Austria's western state of Tyrol. It is a city surrounded by majestic Alps that has long been a destination for winter sports. Innsbruck is known to bring tourists for skiing, and tomorrow I'm going to have my first try at skiing here in the Austrian Alps. It has a perfect combination of long history, impressive monuments, and incredible natural surroundings. One of the most popular landmarks is the Golden Roof. This medieval masterpiece quickly caught the attention of all visitors, and we were staying just a stone's throw away from it. What makes this unique is that it has close to 3,000 gilded copper tiles that make the roof. Hence the name of the attraction, the Golden Roof. It was created in the year 1500s to commemorate the wedding of the Emperor of Innsbruck, and still stands today to admire. But we were not here for much of the history, we were here for the Christmas market and the winter sports. The night went by exploring the Christmas market and trying some of Austria's traditional winter food, like this big sausage, which I will not even try to pronounce the name.
Hello.
Hi, hello. Can we have 2 glue wine?
Yes.
And also enjoying the Glühwein or mulled wine, which is hot wine infused with herbs and spices local to the region. So this is my first mulled wine here in Innsbruck. It does taste quite strong, and you have to be careful when drinking this, not to go overboard. Later that night, we decided to attend a traditional Austrian folklore show. Well, we were in for quite an experience. The show portrayed many of the Austrian traditional dancers and showcased many of their traditional instruments. It was quite the cultural experience, and I would recommend you to do it, if you can, while in Innsbruck. I will share the link to the show in the description below. So good morning. It's a beautiful day here in Innsbruck. Quite early in the morning. Still the sun is about to rise now and hitting the snowy cap mountain over here. Day 2 was my most anticipated day, or so I thought, as you would see later. It's my first time skiing, never tried it, so I'm quite excited. Being someone accustomed to hot climate, the thought of spending a day outdoors in the Austrian winter felt daunting to me. But I made sure to have enough layers of clothing to keep cozy and beat the cold winds. We took the train for about 30 minutes to get to the alpine village of Seefeld. Look at the views from the train. Oh, wow, wow, the views are awesome. So one of the best things to do here in Austria is to use the train to go from one place to the next, and you get to see all these awesome views from the window. And just for this one trip, I checked, it's about 22 kilometers of travel, and an Uber would have cost me about 55 euros. But here in the train for one person, it's about 6 euros. So there's a massive price difference. Make sure you check that before you just go ahead and get Uber, Bolt or anything like this. And look at the views that you get from the train. You just admire them and you don't have to worry about anything until you reach your destination. We took the train for about 30 minutes to get to the alpine village of Seefeld. So finally made it to the snow. First time I'm seeing snow in my life, and also first time I'm skiing. Super excited about it. The snow is kind of really fresh here now. Look at this. So, wow. Quite cool. We immediately went on to rent our ski gears, which cost 80 euros for 2 people. Not too bad.
Yeah. Okay. Then you both need a helmet.
Well, being a complete beginner, we headed to the slope not so confidently. And the fact is that we had booked a ski instructor to teach us, as it was my very first time. Yep. Unfortunately, due to some miscommunication, we got taken to the wrong ski area and the instructor never showed up. After a full afternoon of skiing, or to be precise, barely skiing, I was exhausted. We had booked a very charming alpine resort for the night. The hotel is a renovated 16th century monastery. We went on to check the little Christmas market, which was just outside our hotel in the village. Alright, so that is the second Christmas market of this Austria trip. This one is Seefeld in Tyrol. The town looks like it is straight out of a kid's book, and it is an alpine town where skiers come every year. So yeah, there's not much to do around here apart from skiing. So if you do come out here, just make sure you're going for skiing. And the Christmas market as well is rather small. So that is the only Christmas market I've seen around here, and we have explored it in just like 5 to 10 minutes. But it's still very cute. If you're around, then be sure to check out the little Christmas market in the center of Seefeld. We explored a bit more at night before heading back to our resort to enjoy a 6-course dinner, which was included in the price for the ski resort. Overall, it cost us this, which included breakfast, lunch and dinner. It was a reasonable price for the area and what we got. But in Seefeld, you can find accommodations that are a little bit less pricey, but most of the ski resorts will average around the same price. I was super content with this day as I got to ski and be in the snow almost for an entire day, but I was not expecting what's coming in the next day. Good morning. I woke up to a very beautiful surprise this morning in Seefeld in Tyrol. It's snowing and look at this. Wow, everything is blanketed with fresh snow. It looks so magical, so cool, and I've never seen snowfall in my life. That's the first time I'm seeing snowfall. Wow, look at this. Look at how fresh the snow is here. Beautiful, it's beautiful. Snow falling here. A dream come true, finally seeing snowfall. I enjoyed this first time experience so much that I just wanted to stay outdoors while the snow fell on me. Sadly, we had to return our ski gear rental and head to the next destination on our itinerary, which is one of the most famous cities in Austria, Salzburg. We took the train and headed to Salzburg. The journey was about 2 hours from Innsbruck, and the ride through the snowy Alps was short of being in a fairy tale. So as you can see, I have been using the train so far to get through my itinerary, and it's definitely the best way to travel across Austria compared to hiring a car, which is super pricey, plus I did not want to take the headache of driving in the snow. And the trains here are quite well maintained, they are very neat and also quite modern, so you do enjoy the ride and also the sceneries that you get on this train ride. The train allows you to enjoy the scenery peacefully while also being the most efficient and affordable means of travel. That does not mean it was cheap, but more affordable compared to other means of transportation. I will list down the ticket price for all the train rides at the end of this video. So tip here is to just download the Omnio app and input your destination and buy your ticket through the app. You can even do so while on board the train. Otherwise, you can buy the ticket at the station on the ticket machine if you want to. Question is, do you need to purchase a ticket well in advance? Not at all. You can buy your ticket at the same time as you're traveling, even for the longer travels. The train is definitely the most convenient means of travel. We reached Salzburg and checked into our hotel, which was located close to the Mirabelle Garden Christmas market. This is the first Christmas market on the list for today in Salzburg. I have planned to check 3 Christmas markets, starting with Mirabelle Garden, where I am right now, which is the smallest one. We went on to explore the first Christmas market in Salzburg, which was rather a small one, but a much bigger one was awaiting us later on. First hot chocolate in Salzburg. So So why is Salzburg so famous? Mostly because it is the birthplace of a famous classical music composer, Mozart, and his house, which has been converted into a museum, can still be found in Salzburg. We went on to find it, but it was a bit confusing of where it was located exactly as per Google Maps, but we were definitely close by. Next famous thing that came out of this city is the beloved Christmas carol, Silent Night, which I'm sure you know about. It was first written and sung here in Salzburg in the year 1818.
Silent night, holy night.
After the Mirabelle Garden Christmas market, we continued roaming amongst the Baroque and medieval buildings and streets, and honestly, Salzburg is really charming. We even found a piece of indoor tropical nature in the middle of Salzburg. Quite surprising, but hey, it's refreshing in the winter.
Alright, so after walking across Salzburg, I just came across another Christmas market that was unplanned. I didn't even see it when I researched about Christmas market here in Salzburg, but it looks huge and it's called Salzburg Original Christmas Market, and it's just right here. Looks massive. Let's go inside.
It was huge compared to what we had seen before, and the Christmas market was just keeping on getting better and more like a fairy tale as we moved from city to city.
There's just plenty to eat and see and even to shop around this Christmas market.
The Christmas market is located just at the footstep of the biggest preserved castle in Central Europe. So we had to go and check it out. It is located on a very steep slope. You can either take the funicular, which costs 14 euros, or hike up the steep slope for about 15 minutes and save yourself 14 euros.
Walking gives you just like an awesome view over the city of Salzburg, and it's just incredible. So if you can walk it, walk it. It's quite a steep climb to the castle, but it's worth it.
The castle was really big and the museum inside it was very informative. There is also a little Christmas market in the middle of the castle. After visiting the castle, we went back down to the big Christmas market and indulged in traditional food and desserts. It had been a long day and we decided to head to the hotel for a much needed good night of rest. Day 4. Woke up super refreshed, and day 4 was a day where we traveled to Hallstatt. It is considered the most beautiful village in Europe, and in winter the village just becomes extra magical. Supposedly it has been portrayed in the animation movie Frozen. It looked so magical in photos and we had to see it, and also it fit perfectly into our itinerary. By the way, if you like my itinerary, I will leave a Google Map itinerary in the description below. So we had to travel from Salzburg to Hallstatt, and after checking on the Omnio app, the fastest way to access Hallstatt is by taking a bus and then a short train ride to reach the beautiful lake along which the village is located. The bus ride was breathtaking as the route was through the mountains, offering incredible views of the villages along the way. Very much worth it. Once at the lake, you have to take a short ferry ride across the lake as the train station is located opposite to the village. The ferry ride is about 10 minutes and costs 7 euros per person, and you can bring your luggage with you. But even during the winter, when the temperature is below zero, the number of tourists visiting Hallstatt was staggering. However, the ferry is big enough and can take several dozens of people in one go. Just get a space for yourself to admire the village as the ferry approaches. It makes the experience even more awe-inspiring. Quick tip here is, in case you had to bring your luggage with you like me, then instead of dragging it all around Hallstatt, there's a storage just as you exit the ferry in Hallstatt. Just ask the ferry crew. It is very convenient and you can pick your luggage on the way back.
So just made it to the famous, ultra famous Hallstatt town here in Austria. You have a famous church right over there and the marketplace, which has been on every picture that you have seen on Instagram, just right here.
From the steep mountain backdrop to the famous church to the fairy tale sceneries, Hallstatt will definitely amaze anyone. Take a stroll across the village and soak in as much of this incredible place as possible.
So I'm just exploring Hallstatt as much as I can in one day, and I'm trying to find all the best viewpoints. So I will try to put them in this video so you can also have the most awesome view of Hallstatt when you come out here.
I tried to find the most breathtaking and beautiful viewing spots across the village, and here are some of my recommendations. There is more to see around the village, and an overnight stay is well worth it. But to just discover the village, 3 to 4 hours is plenty, and that is how much time we could afford in the village, as we needed to catch the next train to go all the way to Vienna, which was about 4 hours away. We finally got the train around 4 p.m. and embarked on the long journey to Vienna, completely exhausted but super happy to have seen this out of this world village. Day 5, the last day of a trip, full of emotions after the last 4 epic days, in our opinion, that we have had in Austria.
Good morning from Vienna. This is the first Christmas market of the day, quite early. It's before 10 o'clock and already the Christmas market has started popping up. So woke up feeling quite sick today. Maybe you can hear it from my voice, having a sore throat, a runny nose.
I had fever, sore throat, a cold and cold sores on my lip. Nevertheless, I was determined to enjoy to the fullest the last day in Austria, and it was a very packed day that we had planned. First activity of the day was to walk to the Schönbrunn Palace. It is considered the Versailles of Austria and was opened in the 1700s and used as a residence of the emperors that ruled over Austria. We were there early to visit the iconic Christmas market that takes place in its garden. After a quick walk around of the Christmas market, we decided that it was time to visit one of the many iconic and popular cafes around Vienna and have a proper breakfast. As throughout this trip we had been eating mostly at the Christmas markets, and although everything was tasty without complaint, we wanted to try out some of the restaurants in Vienna, which I will recommend you to do so. After a very nice breakfast, we strolled through the Christmas markets. Even in the biting cold, the Christmas markets and streets of Vienna hum with life, and of course we came across these famous jokes. So much to see in the streets of Vienna, from St. Stephen's Cathedral, a 700-year-old church, to the Hofburg Palace, flaunting its 13th century architecture with horse-drawn carriages adding to its old-world charm. It is a sight to be seen, even just from the outside. There are many cafes that have been made ultra popular in Vienna by social media, and while I don't doubt that they have delicious food, the queue for these places were just ridiculous, and I chose to find quieter and lesser known restaurants where mostly locals go. The air in the streets is heavy with a scent of spiced wine, roasted chestnut, and the wooden stalls are adorned with handmade ornaments and craft. The colors are vivid against the grey skies of Vienna. It was time to visit the world-famous enormous Christmas market. Many would say it's the most beautiful Christmas market in the world, but I will leave that for you to decide. Here you will find carefully constructed wooden stalls lined with Christmas lights arranged in rows, hawking Christmas ornaments, handicraft, roasted chestnut, and of course mulled wine. All under the watch of the enormous Gothic-style city council building, which becomes illuminated as soon as the sun starts to set, with the best ice skating track that I have seen so far. Of course, me having never tried ice skating before, went ahead to do it. It was fun though, and definitely something to do. How could you not with this view? The Christmas market seemed carefully decorated and had art pieces that just made it stand out more compared to the other Christmas market that we had seen, and definitely added a romantic and memorable vibe to it. But each and every Christmas market that we have been to so far, from big to small, had their own authenticity and personality. We had built quite an appetite after ice skating, and we decided to try out some of the best schnitzel restaurants as per Google reviews. And finally we had the famous Austrian schnitzel in this getaway restaurant, and oh god, it was really good. Very much recommended. And with our belly full and memory packed with unforgettable moments in Austria, we ended our last night and flew back home early morning the next day.
It's time to say goodbye to Austria.
Austria was just the right winter spot for me to ease my way in the European winter and Christmas atmosphere and discover some of the most beautiful places in Europe. Thanks for watching. Hope this can be useful for your next winter trip to Austria, and see you in the next one.